variables using your calculator. Okay, so you will be usually given a table of values that you will need to use to construct probability distribution. For this problem, we're dealing with students enrolled in grades 1 through 8, and these numbers are in thousands. And let's say X represents the grade of a student that's randomly selected from the population. Then we can compute probabilities of a student being selected from each one of these grades, 1 through 8. Okay, so how would I approach this problem using my calculator? The first part says construct the probability distribution for X, where X is the grade. So what I would do is this. Go into your stat. Oh, let me turn this on. We're going to go to stat, edit. And over here you see that I've already entered my values for grade 1 through 8. Okay, these are the values of my random variable. And then in the second column I actually have the numbers associated for each of the grade. So 3750 for first, 3640 for the second grade, and so forth. So go ahead and plug in all of these numbers into the second column. Okay, now to compute the probabilities associated with each of the grade, what we would do? Okay, well, let's say for the first one, what would you do? You would say I have 3,750 students in 1,000, divide by 29,343. Okay, whatever this value is, you would put it right in here. That would be the probability of randomly selecting a student being in the first grade. Now on your calculator you can do it a little bit faster. Instead of doing it by hand, this is what I would do. I'm going to go ahead and do second L2. That will bring up all of these values here, right? All of these values, second L2, divide by the total number of students. So this is 29,343. Okay, so what this command is going to do, it's going to take every value in that second column and divide it by the total. And that's how we would compute the probabilities. Now you can also store this in one of the columns on your calculator. So what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to do second L2 divide by 29343, and then I'm going to use command STO. It's the button right above on and off button. Okay, now this is telling the calculator where to store my data. So I'm going to store it in L3. Enter. And now if you go back to your table, edit over here, all of these probabilities are stored for you. Okay, so that's just a very convenient thing to do. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill out this table here. Let's say we wanted to approximate to 3 decimal places. So then the numbers that will go here is 0.128 for 1, 0.124, 0.124 for this one. The approximately, even though these numbers are different, the probability is approximately the same. Let's see, next one is 0.123, 0.12, let's see, what's this, 5, 0.123 as well. Okay, so this one should be 0.122. Okay, for 6 we got 0.125, 0.127, and for the last one we should get 0.128. Okay. So these are your probabilities associated with each of the value of the random variable x. So that's all you need to do for the first part, values of the random variable and associated probabilities. Now we can answer some questions. Okay, what is the first one asking us? Find the probability that the student is in 4th grade. So we go up to this table here, and it's this value here. Okay, so the probability, how would I write it? The probability that the grade is 4 is 0.12. Okay, or some of you like the percentages, so you would say 12.2%. Okay, find the probability that the student is in 7th or 8th grade. All right, so this would be 7th or 8th. These values right here, so we got to add them up. Okay, so probability that the student is either in 7th or 8th grade. It's probability that the student is in 7th grade plus the probability that the student is in 8th grade. Okay, and what are they? Let's see, 0.27, 0.28, so 0.27 plus 0.128, and that would give us 0.255. Okay, let's see. What is the last thing asking us to do? Compute the mean and the standard deviation of this random variable. So we have all of this data stored in our calculator. Okay, so how would I do this? Let me clear the screen. You would go to Stat, scroll to Calculate. We're going to select one variable statistics. And now, before you used to do one variable statistics L1, but that was for one set of data. We no longer have that. We have a random variable. So for the first column, you need to put in the values of your random variable. In our case, this was in L1. So I do second L1, comma. And the second input is the columns of all probabilities associated with each of the values of your random variable. Well, mine was in L3, so second L3, enter, and this is going to be my mean. Okay, so let me scroll down here. What is my mean? My mean is 4.51, so my mean, the random variable is 4.51, and then the standard deviation is 2.31, so that's my standard deviation, and that's everything. Let's just take a look. The table is filled out. Okay, and that's that. We've computed the probability of student being in 4th grade. That's done. Probability of that student being in 7th or 8th grade. Done. Mean and standard deviation. Okay, thank you for watching.